Well, good afternoon, everyone, and let me just first start by saying, by opening, I don't have a very strong voice today, so I'll do my best under the circumstances. Let me just first start by extending my condolences to the family and friends of the deceased in this matter. That's 20-year-old Malcolm Augustus. He is the fifth man to lose his life through gunfire this year, 2012. He was a single man in the prime of his life. The police investigation has so far determined that Mr. Augustus was killed by gunfire on the border of St. George's Golf Course at about 5 minutes past 12 on Tuesday the 25th of December, that being Christmas Day. A 24-year-old man from St. George's is currently in police custody, and because of the investigation, I cannot comment further on the particulars of the case too much at this moment. However, an overseas forensic pathologist has flown in from overseas and is assisting the investigating team. Evidence from the crime scene is being processed, and the results will be known to the investigators in the coming days and weeks. Crucially, the investigating team believes that at least 2 other males were involved in the shooting of this young man, and possibly more than 2. We are interested in speaking with anyone that may have witnessed a disturbance on Wellington Road at about 10:30 to 10:45 on Christmas Eve, that being Monday night. I would like to appeal to anyone that may have knowledge of this incident to make contact with the investigative team. Any information received will be dealt with in the strictest of confidence. I'd like to say that whilst one arrest has been made, we will not rush to judgment on the facts. So it's really important that other persons that are involved with this are brought to justice as soon as possible. And that's why I'm appealing for people to come forward to make contact with the investigative team so that we can bring the outstanding offenders to justice. Contact can be made with the investigative team on 247-1185 or on the confidential and independent Crime Stoppers hotline. If there's any questions, I'll take those.
Can you say anything as to whether Mr. Augustus was in fact a member of the Parkside gang? He was involved in an altercation with some men prior to his shooting?
I won't comment specifically whether or not he was a gang member. I can say that the Bermuda Police Service have had contact with him in the past, but I don't want to say too much on that at this point. The facts will come out in due course.
Surely the contact wasn't for tea and crumpets, was it?
No, not for tea and crumpets, no.
Can you see the nature of the involvement of the Bermuda Police?
I don't want to get into those details. I mean, this young man is dead at the moment, and we want to bring his killers to justice, and that's what we're trying to do at the moment.
Can you confirm that several vehicles have been seized by police in connection with the investigation?
I wouldn't say several, but we have a number of vehicles that we're looking at, and other evidence that we're processing.
Any information as to whether Mr. Augustus was making his way to a house in the vicinity of where he was shot at the time?
We do believe he was traveling to a residence in that area, yes.
Do you know whether the individual, there was one individual in that house who was alleged to have had connections to the Parkside gang?
I'm not going to comment on any information relating to the case at this point.
Do you think if there had been a police station operating in the area, would have been any great help in this case?
Do you know what, Mr. Darby? We could speculate on a number of things. This could have happened anywhere. Ultimately, the response time for the police service is one to be addressed by people higher in rank than myself. But I think the key thing here is to stick to the facts, and the facts are that this young man is dead, and we're trying to bring his killers to justice. Well, just to go back to your point, Mr. Darby, I think it's fair to point out that the police service for a number of years now does have an armed response capability that operates across the island. There is a police station in St. George's Parish, and I think it's fair to say that the response of the police service is the same no matter what time you call. We have people and resources on the ground 24 hours a day, so I don't think that's a factor in this case. From what I know of at this time.
Are you familiar with Operation Ceasefire, Mr. Pedro, and how it works?
I am.
Do you think that would be effective here in Bermuda?
I think that question is probably better directed to someone else. I'm really here to speak about the investigation. I've seen it operate in other jurisdictions with a lot of success, so That's for other people to look at and speak about.
When that altercation took place in Wellington Road, was there any sense from then on you needed to keep a higher profile with the police?
You're talking about the disturbance I alluded to earlier?
Obviously, it seems to be breaking up.
Well, this is an incident that we believe may be linked to the murder of Mr. Augustus. We're trying to determine that at the moment. There are certain items of evidence that we think may link the two incidents, which is why we're interested in speaking with anyone that may have witnessed that. So, we don't have a crystal ball. We can't predict whether or not this would have led to a murder. All we know is that there was a disturbance with some people that were on a bike, and I think I should mention that bike was a black motorcycle, and the registration number was BU411, and that was called into the police at the time, but we had no way of determining at the time that would or could have led to more serious things.
Any other questions?
Any luck with the firearm being confiscated?
Seized? No, we've not recovered any firearms in relation to this incident as yet. But again, that's why we're appealing to people to come forward so that we can get this firearm off the streets.
The actual shooting incident happened almost 2 hours after the initial notification call. Can you just give us a little description on the circumstances of the...
Well, the details are sketchy. We know that there was an altercation with some people in or around this bike, which led to it being damaged. So we're just trying to make a link between that incident and perhaps the murder of Mr. Augustus, and that's what we're looking at.
And I was asking more so about the details of the call that actually put you in the area of the shooting at the time of the shooting.
You want to know the details of the call?
As far as...
Well, I don't want to say too much about. Again, that's going into details of the case, which I don't really want to divulge at the moment. But yes, we have. Yes. Yeah, we've recovered the bike. So we're looking at that for links between that and the murder of Mr. Augustus. But in terms of the details of the call, I can't divulge those. I don't want to get into those details at the moment, but suffice to say we're looking at the areas of Wellington Road and Park Road where the murder occurred. So residents of those areas in particular that may have seen something relating to this bike or two individuals on that bike, that's what we're interested in speaking to people about.
A lot of times when there's a shooting, there's a heightened concern of retaliation. What words can you give to the public to...
We've been speaking with the family and friends of Mr. Augustus, and certainly to the wider public. We want people to keep calm and allow the police service to do their job and bring the offenders to justice. That's the one message that I've said on occasions before, and I'll say again now. The system only works if people allow us to do our job. Retaliation is not the way to go, and obviously we would strongly encourage people to allow law to prevail.
Have you been very successful with members of the public coming forward with information?
We've had a lot of assistance from people in and around the area, but still clearly, based on my appeal today, we have some things that we want to fill in information-wise, so that's why we're appealing for people to come forward. As I said, there's still at least 2 individuals outstanding that we believe may have been involved in the shooting of Mr. Augustus, so people out there know something, and a young man is dead. So that's why we want people to come forward and give us that information so that we can bring them to justice.